Y'all did it again. You sound beautiful together this morning. Thank you for that. Oh, what a CD of duets in your future or something, maybe, huh? Well, when I listened to that song for the first time about a week or so ago, there was one word that kept coming to me as I did, and that word was life. Life in so many forms that we experience it here on earth. You called the song, it spoke of human beings, you and me, and how we come together and live in this circle, this family together. And it spoke of mountains, and the sunshine and the clouds, rain, wind, fire, all forms of life, all forms of creation. Life that was brought together by the planting of a seed of God, a seed of love, planted on this earth. So many different forms of life, an earth that has sustained all of life for so many, 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 many years. Gaylord Nelson was a man who appreciated and was passionate about the earth and the life that it did offer and sustain. He had very deeply rooted beliefs in the care that he felt we all owed to this earth. Nelson was a U.S. Senator from Wisconsin. And in 1969, he witnessed something that really caused him to become even more aware, even more vocal and passionate about his beliefs around environmental issues. He witnessed a very serious oil spill off the coast of Santa Barbara, California. And he witnessed the environmental devastation that resulted. And he knew at that point very clearly that he needed to share his passion. He needed to become more vocal and share his education with other people about the obligation that we have to protect and honor and nurture our planet. And so he decided to try and organize a day in which there would be what he called a teach-in all across the country. And it started by enrolling high schools, colleges, universities, hundreds of small groups all across the country, and asking them to devote this one day to environmental awareness and education. And he said that there was this overwhelming response to the invitation, to the idea at the grassroots level. He said that the day started to just organize itself. And so he began to travel a little bit more and share his idea with other people, other organizations. The event began to catch the eye of politicians and people of celebrity. And the CBS Evening News, Walter Cronkite himself, decided to air a primetime news special that night that they titled Earth Day, A Question of Survival. Senator Nelson, who had a passion and a love for this earth and all of the life that was present, he planted a seed. And on April 22nd, 1970, the first Earth Day sprang forth. One man, one person, witnessed his earth in pain. And by setting an intention to do everything that he could to protect her, he succeeded in bringing together over 20 million people all across this country, all at the very same time, to talk about the ongoing sustainability of our planet. And today, this Earth Day, it's being celebrated in over 175 countries, with nearly 500 million people all around this world coming together, taking part in any number of events, of activities that continue to bring forth the need and truly the obligation that we have to honor and respect and care for this earth, an earth that supports all life as we know it to be today. Now, I believe that when Earth Day was founded, in addition, it also offered a greater awareness to us as to the interconnectedness of our life, all life. And how it is that we're connected to the planet to us to one another, that underlying connection that we share with God, and how it is that we might consider living this life that we've been given. There's a statement on the website for the Association of Global New Thought that really speaks to this idea of the connectedness of all life, and I wanted to share it with you this morning. And it says, "We stand at a critical moment in Earth's history, a time when humanity must choose its future. To move forward, we must recognize that in the midst of a magnificent diversity of cultures and life forms, we are one human family and one Earth community with a common destiny. We must join together to bring forth a sustainable global society founded on respect for nature, universal human rights, economic justice, and a culture of peace. Towards this end, it is imperative that we, the peoples of the earth, declare our responsibility to one another, to the greater community of life, and to future generations." The Association of Global New Thought is an organization that promotes what they refer to as spiritually guided activism. In other words, before you do anything, take time to pray. Ground yourself in God's presence in you, and then take the steps you're guided to take in order to make a positive impact in the world. It's just another way of stating Unity's fifth principle, that of taking what you believe and putting it into positive expression in this world, whether this world is your home, your relationships, your schools, your careers, your communities, your churches, or even in sizes and in ways that would exceed the success of the Earth Day that we're celebrating today. Each one of us has the responsibility to care for our planet. Each one of us can make choices as to how we live life today in order that we sustain it for tomorrow. Sometimes we can have a passion or a vision that seems larger than life. Think about Dr. Martin Luther King. We used his words to bless our service today. And those words had some really big visions in them. He talked about a renewal of all life. He talked about bringing together, to heal the entire planet. Now, he didn't write those words so that someday someone might find them and use them as a prayer. He wrote his words. He stated his intentions, and then he took action in order to start bringing those visions into his and into our reality. And then there's Senator Nelson. Mr. Nelson was such a deep passion within him that he started a movement that has grown today to stir 500 million people all around this world into a greater awareness of the environmental issues at hand, as well as offer to us actions that we can consider taking in order to make this earth a better place than it is today, to honor and to protect all life forms that it supports. There's nothing that says that we have to go big. I think what's important is that we do something that honors, nurtures, protects, and respects our planet, something that adds to the beauty of life on this planet. So let's take a look at just ourselves, right within these four walls, Unity Church of Overland Park. Now, some might consider us big in terms of unity, but we are a very small gathering of people when you consider the size and the population of this planet. And so let's take a look at what one small, spiritually guided, active community can do. Today, our ministry is certified as an Earth Care congregation under the Unity Earth Care program. Now, the Unity Earth Care team is one of many teams within our Unity Worldwide ministries, and they state their goal as to assist congregations in integrating an earth-oriented spirituality into their ministry. To integrate an earth-oriented spirituality into the ministry. Now, we received the certification in 2010, but it wasn't easy, it wasn't quick. It was a very detailed, comprehensive 7-step process that churches are invited to move through. And as we began to do that, we found that we were being invited to do things such as conduct an environmental audit of all of our operational practices and facilities management. We were asked to consider ways in which we can move into forms of energy conservation, waste management. We were asked to provide educational opportunities, and not just here within our own church, but to take those educational opportunities out into the greater community. And so as we were moving through this process, we were also taking action on what we were guided to do. We increased our efforts in recycling throughout the entire campus to the best of our abilities. We installed an energy-efficient heating and cooling system. And over the last couple of years, we have used that and partnered with KCP&L so that when there are days that are predicted to have very high temperatures, they let us know when it is that they would appreciate us shutting down our air conditioning. And we do so about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we stay here. We don't go home. And let me tell you, it's not particularly comfortable to sit in an office with windows that don't open, with all of the outer doors shut, the air conditioning off, and it's 98 degrees outside. I have never heard one complaint from anyone on the staff, anyone who's here as a volunteer, anyone who is here just because an event is going on at the campus on those days. You know what else I don't find particularly comfortable personally? Standing at a sink doing dishes. Just doesn't get me going at all. And yet, a few years ago, our hospitality teams and many others throughout this congregation did just that in our kitchen downstairs, rather than serve us coffee in a styrofoam cup. Now, I want you to take a minute, think of your homes and the dishwashers that you have there. Think about how long it takes to run a full cycle of washing and rinsing and drying the dishes, and about how many cups you could fit in there at any one time. Okay? Now I want you to think about 600 people coming to your house every week at the same time, and maybe half of them asking you for a cup of coffee. Think again of how many cycles you would have to run in your dishwasher, or how long it would take you to hand wash and dry those cups. It would take a pretty long time. And yet 2 years ago, we had pretty much a residential dishwasher downstairs, and that's exactly what our volunteer teams did. They waited for that thing to cycle through, and they stood at the sinks washing and drying those coffee cups in order to remain in service to the 600. Now, these examples, these circumstances might seem to be pretty insignificant or pretty significant inconveniences, and yet again, never a complaint. Why? I think it's because all of us remember the principles that we teach. You know, we've remembered that when we establish a vision, when we plant a desire or an intention that we know has been given to us by the presence of God in us, what we know is we're going to be fully supported in bringing that vision into being, and that we're going to be blessed many times over in ways we can't possibly begin to imagine. You remember the office oven that I said we created here the past couple of summers and will continue to do so as we move into this summer? Well, not only has it brought forth some pretty good humor as to different ways we've tried to adjust and keep ourselves as comfortable as possible, but it's also brought forth significant financial abundance to this ministry through the money that's been saved by conserving energy. And the vision of the volunteers downstairs standing at the sink, hand washing and drying dishes, waiting for the dishwasher to cycle through. Well, many of you know that just last year we were offered a very generous financial donation that was used to upgrade and remodel our kitchen. You go down there this morning, we've got a commercial dishwasher, and I swear that thing washes and dries like 1,000 cups in 5 minutes. It is just incredible. I want one at home, you know. You see, we did what the Association of Global New Thought is inviting the world to do on their website. We grounded ourselves in spirit, and we took action on the guidance we received. And that guidance, all it did was tell us that we were doing the right thing. We knew that all these things we were doing were ways through which we could show our love and respect for this planet and help contribute to its ongoing sustainability. Now, everything I just shared might seem really big, and I know I just said a few minutes ago we didn't have to worry about being big. But you see, we didn't start with a vision of Earth Care congregation certification. We didn't vision everything that's taken place as a result of it. In fact, that certification and everything that led to it began with one meeting of 6 people in this congregation. And they didn't meet in 2010 or even 2009. They met in December of 2003. 5 of those 6 are still very active members of this congregation. And in 2003, they called themselves the Environmental Committee. And they came together because they had a love for this earth. They had a passion to support it, to nurture it. They had a passion for life, how it is that we should honor life. And they wanted to share and teach everyone around them, all of us, how to do the same. They came together and they planted a seed in the consciousness of this ministry, a seed that would grow roots and support every aspect of this ministry, support us in our efforts to express the truth that God is the creator of all of life, the truth that we are one with all of that creation. And it is up to us as a ministry to walk our talk and conduct ourselves in ways that honor those truths. Today, those 5 individuals, and every one of you and those that aren't here today that have joined together with them in any way since that meeting in 2003, well, today they call themselves the Green Team. And they have claimed this entire month of April as Love the Earth Month. But I tell you what, this is a group of people who love this planet every single day. The team has been, and they will continue to offer educational opportunities, information on the care for the environment, not only through the rest of April, this special month, but through every month that's going to follow. This morning, a couple of them are upstairs with our youth, and they're teaching them all about the importance of trees and the contribution that they make to this planet. And they'll be downstairs in Harmony Hall after the service. I invite you to take a moment to find out a little bit more that you might not know today, or just say a thank you to these folks. Now, some were here at the early service. I don't know if any of those original 5 are here today, but I want to state their names for you. That original 5 that planted that seed were Mike McCord, Linda Brzanek, Polly Swafford, Judy Marcus, and Kurt Straub. So if any of you are here today, would you please stand so that we can honor you and just give you our thank you. Polly is right there. Thank you. And Mike will be down later. He is one of the team that is upstairs with the children, and so we'll have an opportunity to thank him as well. You know, environmental sustainability, loving all of creation, remembering, and somehow trying to understand how it is that we are connected to all of life. That can seem very overwhelming at times. And we may fall back into ways or habits that are easier or more convenient for the short term. But you know, once any seed of life is planted, and it's planted with intention and a knowing that it came forth from the presence of God within you, it can never die. As long as this earth continues to exist with the many and varied ways of life that she supports, we will never have to look very far in order to be reminded of all that we can do to make sure that life, all life, is protected and sustained. And so where do we look for the reminders? St. John of Damascus once said, "The whole earth is a living icon of the face of God." The whole earth is a living icon of the face of God. There's a song in Unity, the melody's playing. It's a very popular song. We use it as a congregational gathering. It's used in classroom settings. The women were blessed by it during their time of retreat this weekend. And the words to the opening verse say, "You are the face of God, and I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God." Now, Kelly is going to sing those words. And as she does, I invite you to look around beside you, in front of you, behind you, and really see the face of God.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Now, Kelly is going to sing it a few more times. But this time, as she does, I want you to look around and see more of this living icon of the face of God. See it in the light, the sunlight trying to come through the blinds, in the fire that makes the flame of our Christ candle. Take a moment and check into your own hearts and see what you feel when you think about the trees that gave their lives in order that we might have pews on which to sit today. Think about nature, the wondrous way it all comes together to shape and form the rock and the stone that supports our back wall. Look around once again and see more of the face of God.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Imagine when you walk out of the sanctuary today that no matter where you go, no matter who or what you see, the only thing you experience is that living icon of the face of God. Imagine seeing yourself connected to all of life. Imagine holding that life so gently in your hearts. From that place of truth, there is so much you can do in order to honor the face of God that is everywhere around you. Recycle more. Use less plastics and paper. Create a compost pile. Try not to use toxic products and dispose of the ones that you do use with care. Maybe spend a moment of appreciation for the clean water that you'll drink this afternoon. Maybe send a blessing to encircle this wonderful earth in appreciation for all she did, all that she supported in order that you will have the food that you eat tonight. Maybe the first step is to spend time in prayer. Affirm your oneness with all of life, and then just ask, what is mine to do? What is mine to do? And when that guidance comes, when you know those answers, take action. Plant your seed of life. Do it with love and with an intention of that seed nurturing, protecting, honoring, respecting, sustaining all of life. Plant your seed of life. Add to the beauty of this wondrous planet Earth, this planet Earth that we call home. Happy Earth Day, everybody. God bless you.